Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Minor League Esports. It's week number 7. It's Sunday night. That means Academy League and Premier League action. We just watched the Pirates and Comets go all the way to Game 5 overtime, where the Premier League Comets finally found their first win of the season. Next on the docket now, we've got the Knights and the Aviators of the Academy League. And to bring you all the action, Hunted and Vitali with you tonight.
I'm back. We cast that series. That was crazy. I didn't expect that at all. I don't think either of us expected that sort of series, but that was fantastic. And now we're shifting to the Academy League, so not the same not the same tier of players, but it still could be a very exciting series. Obviously, Aviators 0-6, just like the Comets were, but the Knights are 1-5 coming into this as well. So it seems like just a bit of a battle of the bottom of the Academy League teams here.
And it's actually quite interesting with the Aviators coming in 0-6. And as you mentioned, the Knights 1-5. The Aviators actually have more game wins total than the Knights do. The Knights are 5-25 on the season. The Aviators, I believe, are 7-23. So it's been a tough season for both teams. This could be a week to try to find a substantial victory. Claw your way back. As you said, it is divisional matchups from here on out after this week. So it's hard to count a team completely out, but it's going to have to be statement win after statement win for both of these teams.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to have to be 5-0 after 5-0, especially with the spot that these teams are in. But anything is possible, especially if you get a good win here, a 4-1 or a 5-0. That puts you right back into contention if you just do well in the next 3 weeks at least.
Well, I know that the Knights are fielding McEaton and Fumbles this evening, and on the other side, Kami Savage and Jay Gabbert for the Aviators. To me, to be totally honest, I'm not entirely familiar with either player, any of the players that are playing. I know, remembering watching McEaton last season a little bit. But again, both struggling teams. Players might have a lack of confidence, but that's the good thing about having these kind of matchups where you have two teams that have struggled out of the gate. It can be that confidence builder needed for the rest of the season.
It definitely can, especially on stream. I mean, I know players are gunning for these stream spots and they want to showcase their skills on stream. So it may not be, the best of the best, but showing off on stream and bringing up, as you said, that confidence boost could be huge for the rest of the season.
Well, the teams are here and the match is just about ready to begin. Again, the Knights versus the Aviators of the Academy League just about to get underway. And I do want to give a huge shout out to our broadcaster this evening. Big thank you to Rio, pulling double duty, broadcasting and running the admin stuff behind the scenes. So thank you so very much, sir. And actually, thank you to you as well, Vitali, and coming in on such short notice. We've had a couple of personnel difficulties this evening, and appreciate you coming out only a couple hours after I asked you to.
Unfortunately, things happen, but that's why I'm here. We want to showcase the best possible talent that we can. There's no reason not to get some casters in here to call some awesome Sunday night MLE action.
We are underway with game number 1 between the Knights and the Aviators. The Aviators in their off-white color. Knights in the deep red that they are so famous for. Kami Savage tries to turn that towards the net. McEaton in a solid position, but Savage does get back to the ball. Goes around, fumbles. Jay Gabbert looking to get on the offensive side. McEaton will clear. Goes by Savage. Can't get by Jay Gabbert, but the ball's still there. We'll just wind up in the Aviators corner as Fumbles does play it out. This one's out in front. Can anybody get there? He does turn it in. Great play from Fumbles to get around that ball. It's 1-0.
Just a really good I thought that was a second touch there, but a really good job of just following this up. Call Me Savage, just a bit of a mistouch there. And the Knights grab a 1-0 lead, and they're doing a very good job of just keeping offensive pressure very early on. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing out of this Knights squad, for sure. As a double demo from Jay Gabbard. Holy, that was something right to relieve pressure right in the midfield.
They relieve the pressure, but they don't get the ball out of the zone. McEaton gets a chance. He scores. The double demo doesn't matter at all as the Knights find a way to put the ball in.
Jay Gabbard, he kind of just threw this ball away. Call Me Savage had, I think, a lot better of a touch. Oh, jeez, I'm losing names here. Call Me Savage had a better touch than Jay Gabbard, but Jay Gabbard did go for the ball, and it ended up just popping right into the midfield, and the Knights capitalizes just on a mistake, unfortunately, from the Aviators, and now they're down 2-0, with still a lot of time and a long series to go.
Here's Fumbles. He's looking for a touch towards the corner. Jay Gabbard can't quite get there in time. There's Call Me Savage. Tries to play this one. Here's Jay Gabbard. He will go by McEaton, and now the offense starts up for the Aviators. That one's cleared down. Savage can't get by Fumbles. This one bounces off the wall. Jay Gabbard, one-on-one with McEaton. Goes around him. It's out in front. There's no follow-up as Fumbles gets there in time to clear it away. With time ticking off the board, these good solo plays have to turn into team plays for the Aviators. They need to put the ball in.
Definitely, there needs to be a follow. There needs to be some sort of communication that says, all right, I'm going to beat this guy, and you need to be in the midfield to follow up on this shot. And unfortunately, just having no man in the midfield really cost the Aviators a goal there. Good bump there from Fumbles. This is going to be an open neck, and McEaton get a touch. No, he can't. But again, the Aviators just kind of throwing the ball away, even though Savage does end up getting a touch. But as you said, these solo plays need to turn into team plays very quickly.
This Academy League matchup just about 3.25 minutes into game number 1. If you aren't new to MLE and you're wondering what I'm talking about when I say Academy League, this is for our Diamond players. D1 through D3, welcome in the Academy League. Good save by Fumbles there on Call Me Savage's shot. You can find all of that information about our league at mlesports.gg. You can join the Discord there as well as McEaton wins the challenge, gets himself a second of the game. It's 3-0 now, and the Knights running away with game 1.
Yeah, Jay Gabbard just goes up a little bit too fast for his own good, and he gets just a bit of a miss there, and McEaton capitalizes. There's no one back, and the Knights have a 3-0 lead now. And unfortunately for the Aviators, that isn't a whole lot of time to come back in this game number 1. So you might have to work. You might have to focus. I mean, a good shot there for Call Me Savage. Just going to go right off the post. He can't follow it up. Jay Gabbard is there. It's going to go off the post as well. And just unfortunate misses there on the side of the Aviators, and things not looking great as McEaton beats his man of the ball. It just seems like the Knights are right all over the Aviators right now.
Good play from Fumbles to get that away from Jake Gabbard. He's got McEaton down in front. Call Me Savage makes the play. It's going to be an opportunity for the Aviators if they can turn it on net. He absolutely can. That is a solid touch from Savage. I mean, I know some players that can't quite pull that off in even some of the higher leagues, and Savage does it calmly and collectively.
Yeah, he really does. He's just like, you know what? Free net. I'm just going to hit it right out. I mean, open nets are the hardest to hit. I think I said that earlier in the broadcast, but they are the hardest to net. As Fumbles is going to get around his last man, like 4-1, and this just looks like all but over for game number 1.
Good play from Fumbles, beating the attacking player to the ball. Will find the second touch off the back wall. I have to agree with you. This game does look like it will go to the Knights. There's still plenty of Rocket League left to play. That one hits bar. McEaton can't quite get there. Call Me Savage and Jay Gabbard try to get the clear. Fumbles with his colorful boost trail. Keeps the ball in. There's Call Me Savage, and McGeaton will clear it away. You know, one thing I would like to see that we haven't seen in a couple of seasons here at the MLE is a car beauty contest again. I always liked those.
The car beauty contest.
Yeah.
That's something I agree. I mean, why not bring that back? You know, maybe some holiday themed ones. You know,
Yeah,
Thanksgiving,
there you go.
Christmas,
I mean,
but or some team spirit.
I mean, there's a whole lot of things that you can do with that. I mean, I just personally from casting matches, you know, it's we've seen a lot of unique looking cars, just people that really go all out supporting their team. I'd really love to see some kind of, you know, fashion contest, if you will. But anyway, that's a conversation I think for later. As the Knights, they take game one. It was a 4-1 victory. They were all over the Aviators from the start, and you know it was a slow start for the Aviators. It looked like they were playing defensively a little bit too much. They weren't finding the challenges. They picked it up a bit towards the end, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, and something that you said a little bit early on, when that play happened, where there was a 50 in midfield, or you just got beat, and there was really no one to follow up. And I feel like the Aviators need to find team plays a lot quicker, or like at all, because I feel like it's, as you said, all solo plays for the Aviators right now, and they need to find a way to find each other in the midfield or off the wall, do something to force this Knights defense into a really tough spot. I mean, they got that one goal on a counterattack, but again, that was a solo play. That was just one guy shooting it into the net. So I feel like if they can, I don't know, try to find each other more, it might turn into more success.
I think the players waiting to go. Let me just let them know. But yeah, we will get game number 2 underway, and I definitely do agree. I think that, you know, maybe it was just a tough start for the Aviators. Maybe a little bit of nerves coming into this, of course, on stream. You know, it doesn't happen very often that your team gets streamed, so you want to come out and show that you have what it takes, and sometimes that can cause some slow starts. We'll see if they can pick things up. Solid win for the Knights. They'll even start game 2 well with fumbles, rolling that one into the back of the net.
Yeah, a good job. I mean, Jay Gabbert tried to go around one, did, but McGeaton with a really good bump, and Call Me Savage a little bit too far out of the play, and fumbles, reads that, and that's something that I want to see out of the Aviators. You know, one man challenges the ball, it's free in the midfield, the other one comes in and cleans it up. That's really, really solid play from the Knights, and that's exactly what I want to see out of the Aviators, hopefully, in these next 4 games.
Call Me Savage looking for Jay Gabbert. It certainly seems like the Aviators, they had a rough takeoff, if you will, in game 1. Haven't really gotten off the ground yet. Let's see if they can change their fortune. So McGeaton goes over top of Jay Gabbert. Had an open goal. I don't know if he realized that. He does play it into the corner. That's actually a good pass. Fumbles is going to get up there eventually. Both players whiffing on that ball. McGeaton places it away from Jay Gabbert. Will still find its way into the Aviators' corner. One bounces out in front, fumbles, fires. He'll score 2-0 now for the Knights.
McGeaton is really just being a nuisance on this Aviators defense right now. Fumbles being that really good shooter, but all those offensive opportunities that Fumbles is getting is all being set up for McGeaton, making challenges in the corner, making challenges just on the Aviators defenders, and he's doing a fantastic job of putting the Aviators in the spots they really don't want to be.
Here's Jay Gabbert. We'll see if he can change the Aviators' fortune. He wasn't able to get that touch. McGeaton keeps the ball in, but Savage goes by fumbles. Tries to win the challenge against McGeaton. Fumbles actually booms that back a little bit too far than what he wanted, I think, but Jay Gabbert can't quite get around to the touch. And that is something that really, it's something that should be addressed, I think, in the Academy League. I mean, when you get players in the Academy League, in the Foundation League, aerial skills can certainly be a difficulty. But when you play with teams when you're playing 2v2, aerials can be less important if you focus on that ground game, winning important challenges. The ball just kind of has a way of finding the back of the net.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree. If you can beat, one or two guys on the ground and set up your teammate for an easy shot, that's going to be a goal every time. And I feel like the Aviators are trying to just do too much in the air. That they're uncomfortable, like to a point where they are, and it's showing because I feel like they're a lot more comfortable on the ground. But since the Knights are always in the air, it seems like they're just trying to beat them to the ball in the air while they could be waiting on the ground, getting some better touches and playing the way that they want to play and forcing the Knights to play that sort of style rather than always in the air all the time and getting beat constantly.
This one's out in front. McKeaton will have an open goal to shoot at, and he will get his first of the game. Solid play by Fumbles to set up McKeaton here. It's 3-0.
Call me savage. Just mistook Fumbles for the ball. Unfortunately, that is not the ball. He clears Fumbles out of the way, but McKeaton is going to be there to put that one away. And the Knights now have a 3-0 lead. As Savage is going to go up the wall. He had an open net. Unfortunately, I don't know if he realized it. Again, it seems to be a little bit of a struggle for both teams, just realizing that they do have open nets and saying, I'll go towards the net rather than going up towards the wall rather than going for the actual net itself. I don't know if they're just trying to go for style points or trying to
double demo.
Oh my goodness. But just these double demos again. What is going on? These double demos through games. I thought that's the more we've seen. Oh my, what a pass from Fumbles. Can McKeaton finish it off? No, he can't. But the Knights are still in control of this game number 2.
That one bounces over top of Fumbles. This one will go into the corner. Here's McKeaton. He's looking for some kind of play. Call me Savage. Will win that touch, and Fumbles clears it down. Good play from Jay Gabbert to try to keep the ball in, but McKeaton will get there before Call me Savage. And now the Aviators once again playing out of their own corner. It's where we've seen most of the action take place throughout the series. Fumbles is looking for McKeaton, but it does go just a bit wide. And now here's Jay Gabbert. He's got a 2v1 if he can hustle, but McKeaton gets back to make the play. 45 seconds left. 3-0 in favor of the Knights. The Aviators, they need to find the offense now. They probably need to score on this possession here if they want any kind of hope in this game. Fumbles is going to bounce this down. Almost gets the demo onto Jay Gabbert, but with 30 seconds left, this one looks over.
Yeah, it really does. And something that I wanted to point out is it looks like every time Jay Gabbert wants to go for a play, he doesn't have any boost. He just picks up a corner there. But every time on offense, he seems to just have 0 boost. I don't know if that's just a bit of boost management, which obviously these lower level players won't have the best of boost management. But just having no boost is very, very hard to make offensive plays happen with 0 boost, as we all know.
Yeah, and the boost economy game, you mentioned it, it's not as pronounced in these lower leagues, but it is very important just the same. You've got to make sure that you secure your own boosts when you have time, of course, and you secure those mid boosts as well. The mid boost struggle is something that often gets overlooked, I think, by players at every single level, but the battle to take those mid boosts and keep that pressure going, keep that rotation through those mid boosts, collecting them over and over again, was won in this game specifically by the Knights. As you mentioned it felt like the Aviators were certainly out of boost at times, and it makes them seem like they're getting to the ball slower. They just don't have the economy to get there on time.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's something that they need to change, maybe prioritize in the next game. Just kind of win those midfield battles and put their defensive line at midfield where the Knights can't get past. I mean, we've seen them go past with pretty much ease, and as you said, controlling those midfield boosts, and it just seems like the Aviators, as you said, they're a little bit slow to the ball, but it's just because of the fact that they don't have the economy to get there. They don't have the ability to beat the Knights to the ball because they just have zero boost whenever they're trying to go.
Game number 3 is underway. We'll see if there are any changes made by the Aviators here to try to get them that first win of the series. But that's not going to change. Fumbles. He scores an early goal yet again.
Jay Gabbert just popping this way too high, and I'm really not sure where Tommy Savage was, but Fumbles is going to turn that one in every single straight to the ceiling, and there's no defender back. And again, the Knights have an early 1-0 lead, and that's been the story for this series. As Fumbles going to put in another one, and a quick start for the Knights makes it 2-0 here in game number 3.
Jay Gabbert getting caught in the corner, doesn't get back in time, and that will be, like you said, a very quick start for the Knights. They're looking to secure this series early on. Already got a 2-0 lead in this 5-game series. Trying to make it 3. McEaton looking for the challenge. Jay Gabbert will go underneath him. Now it's a 1-on-1. Jay Gabbert versus Fumbles, and Jay Gabbert can't quite get a handle on it. He gets demoed as well. Call me Savage, tries to sneak it in, but a big save comes out by McEaton. He hugs the post, makes the play. Jay Gabbert might have an opportunity now. He goes high. Savage trying to find the read, can't quite do it. And this could be dangerous now as the Knights turn the ball back around. Save, but redirect back in the goal. McEaton gets his first of the game. It's 3-0.
The Aviators really pushing hard to make that offensive opportunity happen, and unfortunately, Jay Gabbert, he did have the ability to save it, but McEaton put his car in such a space where, unfortunately, Jay Gabbert did save the ball, but he had to hit it back, right back into McEaton, and there was really nothing that Jay Gabbert could do as the Aviators pushed up too far on that one offensive opportunity that they had, but Jay Gabbert's going to make it 3-1 with just a minute gone here in game number 3.
There you can see the difficulty that these players have with those awkward corner bounces. It can be quite difficult to read those at times, especially when you're going full speed. That one gets around the Knights defenders, and Jay Gabbert finds himself a goal, brings it to within 2. There's still so much time left on the clock now. It feels like we've been playing this game for about 5 minutes already. Only minute 25 has passed. Jay Gabbert and McEaton combine in midfield. This one falls into the Knights' corner. Fumbles will boom it back. Tommy Savage doesn't read it well, and Fumbles goes wide. He wanted that hat trick, and he couldn't quite find it.
Just unfortunate again, and something again that I wanted to point out is the Aviators not having any boost to that midfield line. Jay Gabbert boomed it long. He could have been able to follow it if he had a little bit of, but he was waiting on that midfield boost. Unfortunately, Fumbles read it in time and just boomed it far. Put the Aviators in a really rough spot, and that's really been the whole game. It's just the Knights putting the Aviators in really rough spots with no boost, and they're really unsure of what to do. They're just getting hunted right now.
This one's cleared away by Jay Gabbert. It will fall all the way back into the Knights zone. And after this series, finish off our night, we have the Premier League Pandas and Tyrants coming up next. You're going to want to make sure you catch that right here on MLE Sports.
That'll be a solid series.
Some Rocket League left to play here as Fumbles will finally find his hat trick. But that was a defensive miscue by the Aviators.
Jay Gabbert just unfortunate misclear there. He did not pop right back into the midfield. Call me Savage, nowhere to be found, and the Aviators down 3 again, needing to find 3 goals. But there still is half the game left. There still is a possibility to come back into this game. They just need to fix up a few things in the midfield, try to get some passing plays going, and they do have a shot still in this game and at this series. They have to get started very soon.
There's a demo onto the back defender. Fumbles can't get the touch. Jay Gabbert had a play, couldn't quite get it over Fumbles. Now McEaton, he whiffs on that play. Good fake from Jay Gabbert, but Fumbles will beat him to the punch and plays it all the way back down. has McEaton out at mid, but this one's going to be a little bit too hot for him to handle. He does eventually get a touch on it, but Call Me Savage turns him and his teammate away, and now he's looking for an opportunity. Tough bounce off the corner wall. He fumbles to collect. Minute 40 left. 3-goal lead for the Knights. Game number 3. Looking to secure this series victory. If they can score here, that might just be it. Fumbles is there, but a good save. Call Me Savage hustles back and makes the play.
A beautiful save, but that doesn't change the fact that the Aviators are pushing up a little bit too far to try to get that goal that they desperately need, but they can't be just pushing up with no thought of repercussions. As fumbles is going to beat Jay Gabbert to the ball, and it's 5-1 Knights, and that might be all she wrote for game number 3 in the series.
Yeah, with only 70 seconds left, it's going to be a difficult challenge for the Aviators to try to find 4 goals, but they have to try, certainly, if they want to take a victory in this series. If they're unable to do so, they'll drop to 0-7 on this season. Knights will move to 2-5. Continue trying to find those victories as we move into the last critical 3 weeks. Gabbert clears it away. McEaton, no problems playing it back. Call Me Savage wants to penetrate the zone. Will do so there with Jake Gabbert, but the ball is just not finding its way out in front. Some great challenges from the Knights, some great touches to keep things out of harm's way, and that will find its way all the way back down. This game is just about over.
Yeah, it really is, and it's just unfortunate for the Aviators. I mean, the same sort of troubles were plaguing them, though. Not having any boosts to get any offensive chances, and at the midfield, they were losing the game. And unfortunately, if you lose the midfield game in doubles, there really isn't much you can do. Jay Gabbert getting a double tap. He's going to, give some confidence to the Aviators, but with 3 goals to score in 11 seconds, it's going to be very tough.
That's a good read from Jake Gabbert. Would like to see a bit more of that from him in the next couple of games. 11 seconds on the board. 3 goals necessary. They need a kickoff win. Won't find it there. That is all she wrote for game number 3. So the Knights take the victory in the series. As is customary here in the MLE, we play all 5 as they all matter when it comes to final seeding. And for the Knights, that's good news, as they need as many wins as they can get out of the series.
They definitely do. I mean, now they moved to 2-5, so things are a lot better. But again, as we were starting off with the series, the Aviators had more game wins than the Knights. So that game record is not very good. So if you can get a 5-0 here and move to 10-25, that's a lot better. I mean, that's a lot easier to come back from, especially in these last 3 weeks that you're going to need to really pull it together to try to get to playoffs. I mean, it's going to be tough, but it all starts here. And I mean, I'm sure the Knights are really hoping for a 5-0 here.
And, again, you mentioned it. There was a bit of a game discrepancy coming into this. That win for the Knights does put them over top of the Aviators in total game wins now, as they have 8 to the Aviators 7. So a solid win for the Knights, but for the Aviators, they need to turn things around. You don't want to give up when it comes down to crunch time like this. Even though you already lost this series, it's time to turn on the Jets, make some plays, and bring yourself at least a game win in the series.
Yeah, for sure. You want at least a game. If you can manage it too, but at the point that they're at, it's looking rough. But again, we saw in last series where the Comets were really doing well in the first 2 games, but the Pirates came back and utterly dominated the next 2. Obviously, the series is over now, so there is no reverse sweep potential, but I kind of want to see if the Aviators can kind of reverse things here and try to get a win or 2 to help that game differential. And even though the Knights may have 2 wins in series, the Aviators could have a better game record if they win out here.
Well, game number 4 underway, bouncing around in front. McEaton might have a chance. Jake Gabbert finds the clear. Again, if you see a play you think worthy of play of the week, please clip that. Send it to us either on Discord or on Twitter. Hashtag MLEPOTW as Call Me Savage goes off the post to start us off. for game number 4. And I do want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Balls with Guarana, who makes Play of the Week happen. Balls with Guarana gets its unique flavor from the Guarana berry, now available in original cherry, root beer, ginger, orange, and zero. Balls Guarana brings you that one-of-a-kind flavor and adds a delightful twist. Visit our website, mlesports.gg, to find out all of that information about our sponsors. We thank them so very much for being a great sponsor for us this season. As Fumbles, does he find the first goal again? Oh, just off the bar. Can't quite get that one to fall. They've had a couple of chances early on in this game.
They really have, but something that's a very big positive for the Aviators is they haven't gone down early. I mean, the Knights have had a lot of chances early, but they haven't found the back of the net. And you got to feel good about that because it's still a 0-0 game, and it doesn't... If they hit all the posts in the world, you're still at 0-0, and if you score a goal, you're going to be winning. So, again, you just got to stay calm, stay composed, try not to let that first goal go in, and really not let the Knights control the way that they've had in this game number 4. Obviously, they controlled that midfield. That's not a very good touch. That's just going to go right down the field. Call me savage. Going to try to put that one in the midfield. He's going to take that boost. A good touch there from McEaton. Clears it away, and the Aviators still clinging to that nothing tie here in game number 4.
This one does bounce down in front. Good save from Call Me Savage. Gives it to Jake Gabbert. Can he get there in time to turn it on? Yes, he can. It's a 1-0 game for the Aviators in game 4.
The Aviators staying strong. That offense from the Knights, they're trying to push too hard to get that goal. Probably getting a little bit frustrated that they haven't been scoring all those opportunities. But unfortunately, when you overcommit like that and that gets over the last man, it's going to be a goal. And the Aviators, after getting utterly dominated in the last 3 games, have come out with a 1-0 lead here. In game number 4, that's going to change right now as Fumbles will be able to put that one away. I had to wait a little because I didn't know, but he will tie the game at 1.
And he does a double commit there. Gonna hurt the Aviators. 6th shot of the game for Fumbles. Finally finds its way in. Will tie us up at 1. 2:20 to go. Again, game number 4. The Knights already taking series victory the first 3 games. But again, all games count when it comes to final standings looking towards the playoffs. So we play them all. Call Me Savage down the pitch. He's looking for a touch out in front. McEaton's going to watch him. Goes over top of him. Jay Gabbert trying to back up in time. He does get there. That was very close. McEaton almost had a breakaway.
It's a very risky touch, but it's good to see that the Aviators are winning these challenges in the midfield and forcing the Knights to overcommit an offense rather than just get these free offensive opportunities. As McEaton, he can't finish that one off. Tommy Savage is a 1v1 against Fumbles. Can he do it? He gets past Fumbles, but no one can. Fumbles turns around in time, and the Aviators still tied at 1-1 here in game number 4 with a chance to win if they get another goal.
There's Fumbles. He goes off the ceiling. Nobody back. Jake Gabbert's not there, but McEaton doesn't put this one on goal. Will bounce down for Fumbles. Bounces back towards the Knights zone. McEaton's first one there. Plays it hard into his corner. Call Me Savage getting demoed as well. This opens up some space as the final 60 seconds show up on the clock now. Jake Gabbert just by Fumbles. Bounces way up high. Call Me Savage is in the air. Shot, score. Beautiful shot from Savage. It's 2-1.
A beautiful job of Jay Gabbert beating his man to the ball. And unfortunately, Fumbles leaves McEaton in a really rough spot as that ball is just floating right in front of the net. And Call Me Savage puts that shot in the perfect spot. And the Aviators have a 2-1 lead with 50 seconds left. And they have a possibility of taking this game after being almost utterly dominated early in the game.
It's a solid team effort from the Aviators. They might even find another one here if Jake Gabbert can hustle. He demos Fumbles. Can't quite get around to the ball, and McEaton's there to take it away from him, but Savage to play it back in. 25 seconds left. Fumbles the ball out in front. It's off the crossbar. McEaton can't get it. Jake Gabbert scores. Gives the Aviators a goal lead with 20 seconds left.
As you said, fumbles the ball right there. And Jay Gabbert is going to take that McKeaton miss as well. And the Aviators up 3-1 with 20 seconds left. And it's looking like they're going to take a game. Oh no, a team bump. But they're going to hit it. Call Me Savage is going to get it over. He's going to get it past another one, and that might be all she wrote for game number 4.
3-1 right now. 5 seconds left. Fumbles. Oh, it's in. There's still a chance for the Knights. 2 seconds.
A good shot here for McKeaton. Not for McKeaton. A good pass for McKeaton. And Fumbles just firing it towards the net. Savage, I don't think he thought that was in. I think he thought it was out the post. But with 2 seconds left, that might be a costly mistake if the Knights can get a kickoff win. And a good shot, but though that's going to hit the ground. And the Aviators take game number 4, taking their first win of the series.
And again, with the way that the win discrepancy was when we started this series, both teams are tied now at 8 wins on the season. So this next game, it kind of determines where they sit in those standings. Of course, the Knights winning this series, but, you know, at least for a point of pride for them, they'd like to be ahead of the Aviators in those league standings coming out of game number 5 here. That's just upcoming. But looking at the scoreboard, the Aviators split their shots between both players, 3 and 3 respectively, and fumbles having all 7 for the Knights. Just not enough offensive output from the Knights to find victory.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they did have a lot of change early on. Crossbar a couple times, but the Aviators weathered the storm, and they came back and they delivered strikes when they needed to. They scored the shots that they needed to, and that was the reason they won. A bit of offensive overcommitment from the Knights, and the Aviators just punished, and they did a very good job of it, and they took game number 4, and now they have a chance of taking game number 5 if they continue on that trend. I mean, obviously, you don't want to have that many shots from a player from fumbles, but if you continue to allow, the Knights to make mistakes and capitalize on them, this could be a different series than what we saw in the first 3 games, where we saw utter domination from the Knights in the first 3. We could see a complete turnaround in the last 2.
We'll see which team gets off to a quick start here in game number 5. Good demo by McKeaton. Bouncing around, fumbles is there. Respawning is Savage. Can he get to this one? No, he cannot. McKeaton first on the board for the Knights.
And Jay Gabbert, unfortunately, unable to clear it past McKeaton. McKeaton was right there. A good demo on Call Me Savage as well in the net earlier to put Jay Gabbert in a tough spot. And the Knights grab the first goal, and that is the 4th time in this series. They didn't score first in the game at number 4 where they lost, but that's a good start for them to get that 4-1 that they desperately want, especially going into these last 3 weeks to hopefully make those playoffs.
That's a good play from Savage all the way down the pitch. Fumbles, gets there to make the play, and he goes by Savage as well, looking for the demo onto Jake Gabbert, not going to be able to find it. Small touch towards McKeaton, who does clear it away. Now Savage. Good pinch along the side wall. Will bounce down towards the front of the net. Savage plays it one more time. Double commit there. Gives Jake Gabbert an opportunity, but he pushes it wide. Fumbles makes the clear either way. So some chances now for the Aviators. The ball's still not out of the zone, but a good challenge for McKeaton will send the Aviators packing for now.
Yeah, he will, but the Aviators doing a very good job of just winning those challenges in that offense on exactly what they need to do, taking that boost from the Knights. They can't make any plays when they're out of boost, but unfortunately Call Me Savage gets beat, but it's good clear. And something, again, that I'm noticing in these last 2 games, the Aviators, even though they might be getting beat as that challenge is right towards net, but he does get back in time. If they do get beat, they're going to have one man back to just clear the ball along. Oh no! Oh no! Call Me Savage. That is not where you want to put that ball.
Yeah, that's a play in the making. I could see that coming as Fumbles was going along the back wall. It just looked like Savage didn't cut into the goal line close enough, and he unfortunately plays that into the back of his own net. It is 2-0 now for the Knights off the back of that own goal. There's still time for them to try to pull this one back. 3 minutes remaining. Clear from Savage. We'll find that touch. Can't get by McEaton. Actually, he does. Fumbles there in time to make the challenge. Jake Abbott has to turn on this one. It'll bounce way up high. Savage opting to play defense now, but fumbles, not able to find the touch. He goes over top. Good shot from Savage off the back wall, and McEaton finds the clear.
It's unfortunately a shot that you need to make. It is Academy League, so I'm not going to too much, but unfortunately, that is a shot you want to make if you want to get back in the game. Open opportunities like that aren't going to get gift wrapped to you very often. You want to try to take advantage, and unfortunately, they're still down by 2 goals with just over 2 minutes left.
That's a good touch from Savage. He's up in the air now. Actually, he backflips, I believe. What a bump onto McEaton. Jake Gabbert just hits the post, and McEaton finds the clear. Another missed opportunity from the Aviators, and now the Knights pushing the other way. Good save from Jake Gabbert to keep it a 2-goal game.
Man, all these opportunities for the Aviators just gift wrapped, but they can't finish it off, and that's exactly what we saw to the Knights in the last game. Is what a pass, and Jake Gabbert in the air to redirect that one in, and it's a 1-goal game.
So you miss all those opportunities, and then you turn this into a goal. What a touch, and what a goal from Jake Gabbert. Beautiful pass from Call Me Savage as well, and it's a 1-goal game now. 97 seconds left. This is game number 5 between the Knights and the Aviators of the Academy League. Good play from Fumbles to keep it in. Savage touches it towards McEaton. McEaton keeps it in the zone. Jake Abbott wants to try to clear it away, but McEaton just being a nuisance now in the Aviator zone. Looking for some kind of touch now. Plays it back into the corner. Jake Abbott can't quite turn on it, but Fumbles turns away, and Jake Abbott clears it out. So finally, the Aviators on offense now with 63 seconds left. A good demo by Savage. Can it open up some space? Fumbles not able to find the touch on that ball, but neither can Savage. Will be cleared back down.
Yeah, unfortunately, he needed that touch, but again, there still is 50 seconds. There still is an opportunity for the Aviators to come back into this game, even with all those missed opportunities that they've had. The Aviators still in this game. Number 5 is a miss there, but McEaton will bail him out. It's going to be a pass in the midfield. No, Savage is going to try to finish it off. Oh, what a save from McEaton, keeping this a 2-1 lead for the Knights, and he's going to be thanking the post a little bit there as he's able to jump off cover with 20 seconds left. The Knights looking to hopefully ice this game number 5.
Jake Gabbert, he's only got 15 seconds to try to play it out of the zone. Savage now touches it towards McEaton. He's got to make this play. Does Savage. He opts to turn around. Jake Gabbert's there to challenge. McEaton gets by both. That'll find its way in the Aviators' goal, and that will secure the win for the Knights.
That's so unfortunate. I mean, both players commit. You got to hit the ball there, especially with both players committing. Just unfortunately, one player beats you, and unfortunately, that's going to be a 4-1 for the Knights, as that's going to be killed, and the series is over. The Knights take the series win 4-1 over the Aviators here.
And the Knights do just such a great job throughout this series, making sure that they took advantage of the opportunities given to them, creating opportunities of their own, peppering the net with shots. So many shots in this game by the Knights, but the Aviators they were unable to play in the face of adversity. It felt like they started slow in game number 1, and I think it picked up a little bit for them. They, of course, got that win in game 4, so it's something positive to take away from this series, but it just looked like the Knights were the better team on the pitch tonight.
It really did, and something I said before the start of last series, actually, it doesn't matter, what your record is, if you're the best team in the league or not. If you come out and show up and play to the best of your abilities and have the series, have a really good series, you're going to win almost every single time. I mean, obviously, see that at professional levels, but this was just another good showing from the Knights. They did all that they needed to, and the Aviators gifted them a couple plays, but again, that is life. But that is unfortunately the end of that series.
Yep. So McEaton and Fumbles, they lead the charge for the Knights, get the victory. And unfortunately for the Aviators, just not able to make it out of the hangar. And that will do it for our series now. We do have one final series to go. It is a Premier League matchup you're not going to want to miss. We're going to take a very short break. We'll see you on the other side.